Board. All right. Let's find our way to our chair for some chair yoga this morning. Or I guess like chair facilitated yoga or assisted yoga, chair assisted yoga. um, I guess I should have sat down before I came in here because I don't think I want this cushiony thing on my chair. So a chair with maybe no cushion, a chair with no arms are ideal, but we can make anything work. I have no idea who it is. Not even going to answer it because, what am I going to say? So, because we don't live in a vacuum, because we live with ringing noises and people coming to the door and different things, and maybe perfect. So, anyway, who knows how this is going to go? All right, so we're going to bring our feet flat to the floor. Um, Come maybe to the edge of your chair so that your seat bones can point down and your spine can easily be long. Now, I know for me, if I sit further back, it's harder for me to sit upright. So we want to have maybe a flat area here on our thighs. So if we're sitting in a chair that maybe our feet are too high or our feet are too low or our knees are too low, then it's less comfortable, I think. So we'll sit up tall and close our eyes or take a soft gaze. And we'll think about the fact that we don't live in this perfectly zen environment all of the time, that we live in this real world of noises and interruptions, different things. Like there's always something going on. I mean, very rarely, even in a yoga classroom where everything is kind of controlled, you can still hear cars out front or different noises. And we can use those noises and those distractions as a reminder to be present. So, you hear the phone ring, you take a breath. You know, you kind of look at things with a curiosity and kind of a sense of humor that, oh, yep, the phone's ringing. I don't intend to answer it. So I'm just going to focus on my breath during that ringing sound. So we're sitting up tall. I think a sense of humor about life and what you're presented with is really the best way to go. I mean, you can get through so much with a kind of a little chuckle. Granted, not everything is chuckle worthy, but now we'll focus on the breath or bring our awareness to the breath and the movement of the breath. So we notice the breath moving in the front of the body, maybe very subtle in the sides of the body. Our rib cage expand to the left and right as we're breathing. But can you notice the back part of your body moving when you breathe? So you're filling up your torso in all directions. Our ability to kind of um, I'm thinking like lasso the breath, but like kind of control it in a way, or just modify the breath is a really good way to bring relaxation, some awareness to our lives. So when we inhale, we're always imagining the breath traveling down, and we want this energy of the spine to travel up. So the breath travels down as the spine travels up. We have this chakra at the base of the spine. It's the root chakra, And we think about the root being, where the roots are, and then everything is kind of growing up out of it. So think of your roots being very stable, and then your spine and all the other everything else kind of grows up from that spine, from the root. And now we'll start to add some movement to our breath. So we'll exhale and round the spine. You can bring your hands towards your knees, chin towards the chest. You could hold in any of these positions that we kind of flow through, or you can just flow back and forth. So bringing the pelvis forward, hands back towards the hip creases, opening through the heart, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then exhaling and rounding. So again, taking a couple breaths in each position or flowing back and forth through them both the inhale and the exhale. Dry hands on bumpy leggings make a lot of noise. Apologize if that's annoying. Maybe you can just use it to focus on the breath. When Carol first came on, I was eating Whoppers or something with candy. And then I was thinking that, oh, I have my headphone with the microphone going right to her, right to her ear, and I'm crunching. I'm like, I'll stop. One thing about Grandpa's table, there's always lots of goodies on it. All right, we'll come back to our tall spine, and we're going to start to move the joints and kind of warm everything up from bottom to top. So we're going to work on the toes. This is a little different than what we're used to doing. We're going to spread the toes wide. I got socks on, you can't see it. We're spreading the toes wide, and then we'll crunch the toes up, or kind of hollow the arch of the foot, and then open the toes wide. So we'll do a couple of those, squeezing everything in and expanding, kind of holding the toes wide. We'll rock up onto the balls of the feet and then rock back. So lifting the toes, where you're pressing the heel down. So we're rocking through the foot. Good. Now moving up towards the knees. You can bend and straighten each leg. You can come further back into the chair and do both. If you're able to. You can make it big movements or smaller movements. You can even extend both legs out in front and point and flex. And then we'll lower the feet down. So I move back to the edge of my chair. I'm going to circle my knee. I'm going to lift one knee up and circle. Now you can hold your knee, or you can not hold your knee. You can do with or without here. And then we'll switch the direction. And then bring your leg back down. We'll switch sides here. Circling. And then change direction. All right, and then we're going to move to the side of our chair here. And you can move your seat back so that your whole thigh is on the chair. We'll bring the other leg back. So we've done a lot with kind of tightening the hip flexor muscles here by circling the knee. Now we're going to gently open them, stretch them out. So this is especially important if you're sitting a lot. Those muscles those muscles and tendons and everything in your hip flexor are shortened when we sit so much. That's why I choose to either stand up or lay down. I I try not to sit very much. If I could lay down and drive, that would be ideal. That would be great. Probably very dangerous though. We'll bring that knee in and back to the center, and we're going to switch sides. So you are supported by the chair. Bring one leg back. Now it's important to have a gentle stretch, but nothing crazy. We're not, trying to do the splits here. Don't want to overstretch anything. And then we'll bring that leg back. So I'm in my grandparents' living room, and it's funny because there's so many pictures around. I don't know. It's like me when I was a kid, and my cousins when they were little, and I don't know. It's very I don't know. It's nice. All right, back into our mountain pose, our Tadasana, our upright seated here. And we're going to circle the torso. So we're going to kind of work on the low spine here. And then change direction. All right, moving higher up. So we've already done the cat and cow positions. We're going to move to our shoulders. So we'll open the shoulders and then close the shoulders, or bring the shoulders forward. So open and close, open and close. And then we'll go to circling. So you can go forward, you can go back. You can do one at a time. So I also have clothes on to go to the barn after this because the barn is between my house and my grandparents' house. And so I'm wearing fleece lined leggings, and now the heat just kicked on and I'm moving. So I'm like, ooh, getting a little warm. So, all right, moving to the elbows. I'm going to open and close. You can do them at the same time. One at a time. And we'll go to the wrists. So wrist rolls. Well, we don't need to spend a lot of time on the hands because we always come back to this. You can close your hands into a fist, open the hands wide. You're gonna raise and lower, kind of bending. Yeah. And then shake it out. Back to the shoulder rolls if you want to. And we are going to sit up tall. So we're lengthening through the spine. So that energy is lifting us up as our breath travels down. And we are going to turn our head to one side. Come back through center, change to the other side. And then we'll do it one more on each side here. Excuse me. And then back through center here. We're going to tilt our head to one side. So we're not bringing the shoulder up, we're leaving the shoulder relaxed. Tilting our head to one side. Tilt to the other side. and then back to center. So I'm okay with dipping the chin towards the chest, and I'm okay with having your head tilting back because obviously there are times where your head is tilted back, so you're looking up, but be very gentle on the back of your neck so that you're not crunching. I went to one chair yoga training, and somebody was talking about how this woman, every time she'd put a heavy box up into her closet or or a box into her closet, she would actually get like dizzy and faint, because it was actually cutting um, a nerve off or something like that. It was doing, I don't remember the exact, really kind of a crappy story because I don't remember all the details, but um, it was causing problems for her to tip her head back. So we keep the back of the neck long as we bring it back. So imagine, um, like when you're getting your hair washed at the hairdresser, it's kind of still long, but it's back, right? All right, and then we'll come back up to our mountain pose. So pressing our hands into our thigh, creating that core engagement, taking just a couple breaths here. And then release. Shake everything out if you want. I don't know. I kind of feel like dancing today. Anyway, all right. Coming for wrist rolls. Bring it out. Bring it up. Bring it over if you want to. And then back down. Switching sides. Oh, we got a gravel road over here in my right wrist. And then we're going to sweep both arms out wide and then high. Maybe they come together, maybe they don't. Palms come to the heart eventually here. So wherever you are, know that it's okay. All right, back to our wrist rolls. Taking a side bend. And then back to center. And back down. Oi. Switching sides. All right, don't tell my cousins, but I think I'm the favorite because there are like more pictures of me than I think anybody else here. So we're good. Push the ceiling away. Exhale and fold. Inhale to a halfway lift or flat back. So you can even place your hands or your elbows on your knees or your hands on your knees and you're pulling the chest forward. So you get this beautiful necklace on, you want to show it off. See, look at my collarbones, aren't they beautiful? And then exhale and fold. Sweep the arms out and up, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. All right, back to the wrist rolls. I was just thinking, I'm like, maybe I should call myself like yoga with ADD. Switching sides. Oh, yeah. Sweep both arms up wide and high, push the ceiling away. Really tall through the spine, reach all the way as you go. So you're still lengthening as you fold. Inhale to a halfway lift or flat back. So we're showing off those collarbones. Beautiful. Exhale, fold. Sweep both arms out and up. Come all the way up to our tall spine here. And then we're going to exhale and twist to the right. Now, I have my hand hooked over the back of the chair. Now, if this hurts your shoulder, don't do it. But you can, use a little bit of the chair for helping the twist, but don't crank yourself around. Come back to center and then we'll twist to the other side. Sorry, kind of gabbed a little too much on that side. Oh gosh, those twists feel good. All right, come back to center. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Right? It feels good, so do it, right? Back to the wrist rolls. I had a little bit of candy for breakfast, so maybe that's what's going on with me today. Not my whole breakfast, but I had some candy while I was having breakfast. Sweep both arms up, push the ceiling away, get really tall, push the whole way as you fold. Notice how it feels like you're kind of coming over the back a little bit, like you're stretching through the whole back of the body when you keep stretching as you are, pushing as you fold. Halfway lift. Nice. Exhale again and fold. Sweep the arms up, come all the way up. Exhale, twist to the right. Exhale or inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale back to center. We're going to exhale and pick the right knee up, give it a squeeze. We're going to do something a little bit differently here than what we've been doing. So we're going to kind of pulse, hug the knee in and release a little bit, hug the knee in and release. So let's do a couple of those. So we're just kind of hugging in and relaxing a little bit. So it's a little bit round through the spine as we release it. So, whew, I'm warm. All right, we're holding it in and we'll take some ankle rolls here. Although I'm not going to complain about the warmth right now. Switch directions of your ankle roll. All right, set that right knee down. Inhale the arms up. Tall through the spine as we exhale and give the left knee some love here. We're going to squeeze it in. And so we're going to, again, pulse it. So we're hugging in and then releasing slightly. So we'll do a few of those. And then we'll hug it in if you can and ankle roll on this side. Switch directions. And then we'll set that left knee down. We'll inhale the arms up and bring the hands to the heart. All right, last time through. Wrist roll. Excuse me. So relaxed and warm. Sweep the arms wide and high. Push the ceiling away and keep pushing as you fold. Inhale to a halfway lift or flat back, showing off your collarbones. And then exhale and fold. Sweep the arms up, come all the way up, and then we'll twist to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right knee comes in for a brief squeeze. And then we're going to extend the right leg. Foot is flexed, so it's lifted right now. Your quad is engaged. Probably feel that. And then we're gonna set that right heel down, place the hands on the left thigh, hinging forward if you would like. And then we'll bring that right heel back. Inhale the arms up again. Exhale, give the left knee a squeeze. Hug it in towards your chest. And then inhale, extend. Left leg is flexed, the arms are up. So it's core, it's quad, it's, you can feel it probably in a lot of different places. And then we're gonna set that left heel down, hands to the right thigh, hinging forward if you'd like. We're gonna draw that left heel back as we inhale the arms up, come up really tall, and then we'll exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Take a moment here. Maybe think of something that you're grateful for, or even just notice how these little flows make make you feel. Maybe you feel a physical thing like, oh, you know what? I feel a little bit more limber now. Or maybe your brain is just saying, hey, this is good. Or maybe not. Whatever it is. All right. Back to center. We'll place the hands in the lap. We're going to bring the right hand out towards the right. The left hand can come to the left hip, or you can even place it behind your head. And we're going to reach down towards the right here, but we're not lifting that left seat bone. The left seat bone stays in the chair. We're reaching down, and then we'll come back up. Let's do 4 more of those. So reaching down, 4, and back up, reaching down, 3, and back up, reaching down, 2, and back up, and last one, reaching down and back up. All right, just rest your hands in your lap for a moment. Or reach down with the left hand, right hand comes to the back of the head or to the hip, totally your choice. And we're gonna reach down for 5 with the left hand this time. So reaching down, right seat bone stays grounded and back up. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. And back to center. Good, we'll rest the hands in the lap again, kind of noticing how you feel. Scooch them, scooch your seat bones towards the edge of the chair, towards the end. So mine basically feel like they're just off of the chair. So I have like booty, biscuits, whatever, behind me, holding me on the chair, but my seat bones are actually off. So feet are flat on the floor. Spine is long, so we're not crunching anything up. We're staying upright, and we're just going to lean back slightly, hugging the belly in. So everything is kind of moving in towards the midline here, and then come back up. Let's do 4 more of those. So we're leaning back. You can use your hands to kind of counteract some of that weight distribution. And back up. 3 more. And up. And 2 more. And last one. Now, if you're back here and your chair is safe enough, you can lift one knee or the other and come up anytime you need to, if you need to kind of take a little break, because we can actually hurt our backs when our core kind of gives out on us a little bit. So we don't want to get to that point. Come up, take a little break here. You can circle the torso again, changing directions. Oh gosh, I'm like a rag doll up here right now. All right, so you can try it one more time, kind of leaning back, option to lift the knees, kind of taking some balance here. A lot of core engagement, like all the way up just below my sports bra. My whole belly is kind of like speaking to me today, using all the muscles. And then we'll lower down and we'll circle. We'll eventually take a twist to the right and hold here for a couple breaths. Twist to the left. And then we'll untwist. We'll take the knees as wide as you can. Sometimes you need to pull up your pants though to do that. All right. Sitting up tall, knees wide, and we're encouraging the knees to be as wide as possible. So maybe you feel a gentle stretch in the inner thigh. So go move until you have like a stretch if that's possible. Kind of feel like something's happening. And your knees and toes are pointed in the same direction. So if the tighter your hips are, the more your knees want to kind of fall in. So we got to imagine them staying out. Encourage them, perhaps. We'll bring the hands out, palms up to either side. And we're just going to kind of reach. Maybe you have like a tray or a waitress today. You have a tray of glasses and you're going to waitress, I don't know, server. Anyway, you got some glasses. You're going to lean them out to the side here. Come back to center. We're going to do the palm on the other hand, kind of leaning out to the side and coming back in. So let's do 2 more on each side. So we're reaching out. Nice. And back in, reaching out. So it takes a little balance too, huh? And then we'll switch sides. Last one on this side. Come back to center, other one. And then back to center. Bring the palms of the hands together and we can hinge forward. So you don't have to stay with your palms together. You can bring your hands to your knees. And then we'll come all the way up. You heel toe the feet together. And then we're going to do a little eagle pose here. So the knees and feet all kind of moving towards the midline of the body. I'm hugging in. I was going to say smushing, but anyway, hugging in towards the midline. Another option is to cross at the knee. Another option is cross at the ankle, but everything is still hugging in towards the midline. So if you're crossing at the knee and your foot is kind of out to the side, we want to still kind of squeeze it in. So if you've had hip replacement and stuff, this might be really, really not fun for you. Squeeze them together like this. All right. So we're sitting up tall. We're squeezing everything towards the center. You can Bring your hands in front. You can have prayer hands. You could have, give yourself a hug, anything you want, whatever feels like it's of some value to your practice today. I'm gonna give myself a hug. I think we're all a little hug deficient lately. Anyway, so give yourself a hug if you have to. It's the weirdest thing when you see somebody, like for me, I give riding lessons and I have these little kids, they're doing so awesome. And I'm kind of a hugger. So it's like, I want to hug them. And then I'm like, I can't. Oh, I had one little girl fall off. And this girl is like an amazing rider, tiny little thing. She's 5. She fell off and I had to like immediately pick her up. She was fine, but I just felt like I just like this mothery thing came over me and I was like, oh my God, I gotta pick her up. And like I picked her up and I have her pony. And then I'm like, well, that was dumb. Why am I doing this? Anyway. Whew. And we're gonna open up, bring the arms wide, uncross the legs, kind of, you can march, you can kind of run in place. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side here. So whatever variation you took for the legs, maybe you continue with that. Maybe you try something a little different. Everything is still hugging in towards the midline. Like this side doesn't work as well for me. I feel off balance. I'm like crooked to the side here. And if you give yourself a hug, maybe hug the other way. I don't remember which way I did it last time, so I'm just gonna wing it. And we're coming up tall, giving ourselves a hug, squeezing everything in towards the center. Just take a couple more breaths here. All right, release. So you're gonna put your feet on the floor. And now I don't know how this is gonna go if you have socks on. We're going to push the feet down into the floor, but we're pulling our heels back towards the body. So this creates some hamstring engagement. This, if you want to try it in bridge pose, oh my goodness, it's almost painful. So we're pulling the heels back. The feet are flat on the floor. We're pulling the heels back. It creates some engagement in the backs of the legs. And then release. You can extend both legs out in front. Feet are flexed. Stay up tall. Flex the toes back towards your face as much as you can. Taking a gentle, very like micro bend to the knees so you're not locking them out. And pulling the toes back towards your face as much as possible. Good. And then we can move them around and run in place again, whatever you need. All right. We're not actually going to do any flow behind the chair today. It's going to be all seated, but I am going to come a little bit closer. And we will work on our hands here. So I'm going to put the palms together, raise them up as high as you can. Doesn't have to be super high, maybe just barely above your head. If your shoulders and stuff are really tight, then maybe it's like in front of your face, wherever. You're gonna push them up and then we're gonna widen the elbows as our hands come down. So this is gonna cause some pressure in the wrists. Yeah, good. You can come back up and then bring the hands down again. Now you can start to separate the heels of the hands. So this kind of works on the fingers a little bit. Kind of wrist pressure and then push them back up. Inhaling as you go and then exhaling, bringing them down and then peel the heels of the hands apart. and then release. Shake them out, shoulder roll. All right. Okay. Figure eight the wrist. So interchange. Yeah, if you can interchange your fingers, good for that. Interlace the fingers, figure eight the wrists, and switch direction. Okay, we are going to move on to our tapping. So the pinky finger edge of the hand, we're going to tap. Okay, and then the heels of the hands. The bottoms of the thumbs. Good. And then if you're, apparently I'm doing something weird with my shoulders. So if your shoulders are feeling tight, move them around a little bit. And then we're going to take our fist where our rings would be, and we're going to hit those into our hand, into our palm. And then we'll switch. I tend to want to turn my head to the side, not sure what that is, but want to kind of stay upright as much as possible. You even think about your core here and your pelvis, so your pelvis is neutral. So sometimes when we work on our hands, so other things kind of fall to crap a little bit. So I know that's the case for me. So I'll start to work on my hands and then I start to slouch, or I do something wonky with my head. So while we're still working on our hands, we're also focusing on the core and all of those things. So we will now tap the backs of the hands together. Okay, and then we'll switch. Okay, interlace the fingers, tap them together, keeping the shoulders down. I'm here, I'm like tilted forward here, keeping the core engaged. Barb's playing musical chairs. She's like, no, this is where I do yoga. This is where I tap. Now we're going to hold and swap them all by one and then go back at it. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Wonder if anybody would miss me if I just took a nap on the couch after class. Just not say anything because I have no dogs here. There's my grandpa's dog is asleep in the chair. She doesn't do anything. Thumb and forefinger web here. Yesterday, I don't know what was going on with my dogs, but they were barking at everything and nothing. just constant barking. And I don't know if it's because everything looks different and because of the snow, but there was nothing going on outside. Like everything was the same, no people, no, anything like that. And they just barked and barked and barked and barked and barked. And, I don't take my own advice, so I didn't breathe. I just got frustrated. We'll switch here. I was just getting like I was yelling, or so I was barking, and they were barking, and it was like frustrating. And you know what? I don't even take my own advice, so I didn't breathe. I wasn't mindful. I didn't have a sense of humor about it. Anyway, no. Just because you have tools in your toolbox doesn't mean you remember to use them. All right. So we're going to take our hands, and they're full of chi and prana and, excitement and warmth. I don't know, whatever. So we're going to take our hands and place them on a body part or body parts that is challenging to us, wherever that may be. Once I get to this point in the practice, I feel pretty good all over, and I don't even I can't think of a place really. I guess I'll go with my knees. So we can close our eyes or take a soft gaze and just kind of check in with those places that we put our hand or hands. Oh, my grandpa's home. So you're sending love to those spots that you've placed your hands. You're sending awareness, even just attention. You know how that squeaky wheel goes. Just want some grease, want some attention. Like those bratty kids, that want attention. So send your attention to those spots, and then maybe you'll have some comfort there. All right, and then we'll slowly remove the hands. I'm going to move even a little bit closer just in case anybody needs to walk by me. And we'll do a little self Reiki before we close. So take our, again, prana filled hands, and we're going to place them over not random body parts, but I'm going to list off some body parts. We're going to do, we're going to place our hands on those spots, and we're going to send some love. But we're going to focus mostly on what our body experiences and not so much what our hands are experiencing. So, you place your hands over your heart, be your heart, don't be your hands. So we're so fingers and, feely stuff. We want to feel it from inside, not from our hands. All right, so place our hands over our eyes so you can touch your eyes or you can hover over your eyes. We're going to take a big breath in. Full exhale. And we want to be relaxed during this, but we don't want to slouch. So you want to still kind of maintain your nice posture that we've been working on, but not have creating extra tension. So then the hands over the jaw or the mouth. And then over the throat. If that's comfortable, if it makes you feel strange, don't do it. And then over the heart or upper chest area. The bottom of the ribs. Now over the navel or the low belly. Now place your hands over the hip flexors or the lap, be on your thighs. You can do your hands over the knees or on the knees. You can reach for your feet if that's available to you. and the low back. Now, this is the one where I actually do touch my low back because otherwise my shoulders get really tight. So you can hover or place your hands there. And the top of the shoulders, base of the neck with your fingers pointed backwards towards the back of the room. Now, the back of the head and the top of the head, or pretty much anywhere you want on the head, but try to keep your shoulders relaxed. And then we'll slowly let the arms down. Make any movements that you need to. We're going to push ourselves back into our seat and sit comfortably if you can. Then we'll bring our hands to our hearts. So both hands over the heart. And we'll thank ourselves for being here and practicing together this morning or afternoon or evening or whatever time it is when you're doing this. Thanks for practicing with us. And may we all feel loved, grateful, and connected. And may we all have the strength and courage to overcome any obstacles before us. From my heart to your heart, peace and namaste. Thank you, ladies. And you know,